Ted Bundy, one of America's most notorious serial killers, is remembered not only for his horrific crimes but also for his deceptive charm. With his intelligence, charisma, and ability to manipulate, Bundy blended seamlessly into society, all while committing brutal murders. His ability to appear ordinary, even charming, allowed him to lure unsuspecting young women into dangerous situations, leading to devastating consequences. Bundy's case gripped the nation, forcing Americans to confront the terrifying reality that even the most seemingly average individuals could harbor monstrous secrets. His crimes left a lasting impact on criminal psychology, forensic science, and media coverage of violent offenders. Born Theodore Robert Cowell on the 24th of November 1946 in Burlington, Vermont, his life was steeped in deception from the beginning. Raised to believe his mother was his sister and his grandparents were his parents, Bundy's childhood was fraught with confusion and emotional turmoil. Reports suggest that his grandfather was abusive, further complicating his early years. Despite these hardships, Bundy was academically gifted, excelling in school and demonstrating early signs of intelligence and ambition. As a teenager, he began exhibiting troubling behaviors, including a fascination with violent crime novels and secretly watching his neighbors. Yet, to the outside world he appeared normal, excelling academically and engaging in various social clubs. At the University of Washington, Bundy's ambition and drive were apparent, but his emotional life took a devastating turn when a relationship with a young woman, often referred to as Stephanie Brooks, ended abruptly. This rejection is often seen as a pivotal moment that fueled his violent tendencies, deepening his insecurities and igniting a simmering rage. Bundy's method of luring his victims was as calculated as it was disturbing. Using his charm and good looks, he meticulously constructed a false sense of trust. He would often feign injury, wearing a cast or using crutches to create the illusion of vulnerability, manipulating his victims into a false sense of safety. Ted Bundy's deceptive tactics made him one of the most dangerous serial killers in history. His ability to charm unsuspecting women and make them let down their guard turned them into easy prey. Bundy often used his good looks and feigned vulnerability, such as pretending to be injured, to gain trust and lure victims into dangerous situations. He was able to strike in broad daylight, even in crowded public spaces, without raising suspicion, proving how meticulously calculated his approach was. By exploiting human kindness, he honed a sinister method for hunting and trapping his victims, solidifying his reputation as a master manipulator and predator. Once he gained his victims' trust, Bundy would lead them into his modified beige Volkswagen Beetle, a car altered to prevent escape by removing the passenger seat. His violence escalated quickly, abducting, assaulting, and murdering his victims, then disposing of their bodies in remote locations. Bundy's depravity extended to revisiting these sites, often engaging in necrophilic acts with the corpses. His killing spree began in the Pacific Northwest, where young women began to disappear under eerily similar circumstances. Authorities soon recognized a pattern. Victims were last seen with a man named Ted, driving a Volkswagen. However, law enforcement agencies struggled to collaborate, allowing Bundy to evade capture as he moved between states. His crimes spread from Washington and Oregon to Utah and later Colorado, each time becoming more violent. By the time Bundy was one of the FBI's most wanted fugitives, the lack of a unified system for tracking serial killers across state lines made it difficult to catch him. This loophole allowed Bundy to operate undetected for far too long. His eventual capture in 1975 came by sheer chance. He was pulled over for a routine traffic violation in Utah, and upon searching his car, police found handcuffs, an ice pick, and a ski mask. His resemblance to a suspect described by witnesses led to his arrest. Initially charged with aggravated kidnapping, Bundy soon became the prime suspect in numerous murders. Forensic evidence eventually linked him to several murders across different states, revealing the full extent of his deadly rampage. Ted Bundy's capture in 1975 was due to a routine traffic stop in Pensacola, Florida. A sharp officer, following his instincts, pulled over Bundy's car and discovered it was stolen. Inside, he found 21 stolen credit cards, many belonging to Florida State University students. Bundy initially refused to identify himself and resisted arrest violently. This was just the beginning of his battles with the legal system.
Police arrested this 31-year-old man after a high-speed chase Wednesday morning in Pensacola, Florida. He claimed to be a Florida State University law student.
An officer in Pensacola doing his job very well stopped a car that in his gut said, "This isn't right."
Who is this man? He was arrested driving a stolen Tallahassee car and carrying 21 stolen credit cards, many of which belong to FSU co-eds. He refused to give his name to authorities, and he resisted arrest with violence.
His kidnapping trial in Utah marked a pivotal moment, but Bundy made a dramatic escape from a courthouse window, fleeing into the mountains before being recaptured. In December 1977, Bundy managed another escape, this time from jail. He squeezed through a hole in his cell ceiling, using his ingenuity to avoid capture. He fled to Florida, where his killing spree escalated.
The 5'11", 145-pound former law student ripped out a light fixture and steel grating in the ceiling and then maneuvered himself up through a 12-inch by 12-inch hole in the ceiling.
Bundy's escape allowed him to continue his crimes, including the brutal attack on the Chi Omega sorority house in January 1978. Within minutes, he murdered 2 women and injured 2 others, shocking the public with the violence and stealth of his attack. His final known victim was 12-year-old Kimberly Leach, whom he abducted and murdered shortly after the sorority killings. Bundy's subsequent capture led to one of the most widely publicized trials in American history. His erratic behavior in court, including representing himself, became a spectacle. Bundy used his legal knowledge to manipulate the system, delay proceedings, and generate media attention. He even called himself as a witness, attempting to sway public opinion in his favor. One of Bundy's most unexpected supporters during the trial was Carol Ann Boone, a former co-worker. In an astonishing move, Bundy proposed to her in the courtroom, and because it was done in front of a judge, the marriage was legally binding.
Carol, do you want to marry me? I want to marry you. And I do want to marry you.
Boone later gave birth to Bundy's child, a disturbing reminder of his ability to manipulate and control, even while facing death row. Bundy's case became a key focus in the study of criminal psychology and criminology, with experts diagnosing him with narcissistic personality disorder and psychopathy. His lack of remorse, manipulative tendencies, and charm fit the classic profile of a psychopath. Just before his execution, Bundy admitted to dozens of murders, though he remained vague about his motives. He claimed violent pornography had influenced his actions, but experts argue his psychological issues were much deeper. His case contributed significantly to the development of criminal profiling techniques, improving the FBI's behavioral analysis unit. On January 24, 1989, Bundy was executed in Florida's electric chair, closing the chapter on one of America's most infamous criminal cases. Outside the prison, crowds gathered, chanting and holding signs that read, "Burn, Bundy, burn." Yet, despite his death, Bundy's legacy continues to haunt the public imagination. His crimes have been the subject of numerous books, documentaries, and films, all delving into how a man who appeared so normal could harbor such monstrous intent. The chilling reality of Bundy's case forced society to confront the unsettling truth that some of the most dangerous individuals blend in effortlessly with the crowd. His story reshaped law enforcement methods, influencing forensic investigations, criminal psychology, and the media's portrayal of serial killers. Bundy's life and crime serve as a grim reminder of the hidden darkness that can lurk behind a charming facade and the continuing challenge of understanding and preventing violent crime.